Your best days are ahead of you, not behind you. And this is especially true if you're under the age of 40. There are far too many dudes who talk about the glory days, and they're either talking about high school or college, talking about times where physically they could do a lot more, but the real problem is back then they were dumb. Like, and if your best days in your mind are a time where your body didn't need upkeep and you had the least amount of worries and care and responsibilities, that tells me you're not driving towards anything. See, when you are in your 30s, like for me, I have realized a whole new type of prime in my 30s. I hope it will be the same in my 40s. I don't know. But every decade, really every 5 years, comes with something new that I have to look forward to. And no, I'm not going to be just as fast, just as strong, when I'm in my 50s. Of course not. But I have gotten way more healthy, way more in shape. And even though it takes more maintenance to take care of myself, I can look back confidently and say, listen, even though I didn't have to do as much, just because I didn't have to do as much doesn't mean I was having the best time and making the best decisions. And I think we confuse too often our most carefree versions of ourselves with the best time, with the glory days. Just because you was out here not aware of how bad you had it or just not aware of your responsibilities does not mean things were good. You have an opportunity every time you wake up, especially as an adult over the age of 30. If you're over the age of 30, in your 20s, you're probably going to mess some things up. When you get to your 30s, a lot of us start to realize that we have to make certain decisions to start guiding us towards what we say we want. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. So you have this golden opportunity where you are much smarter. You should be anyway, much smarter than you used to be because you're more aware of the realities of life, how your inputs directly impact your outputs. But there's also this piece of you are not decrepit yet. Like if you take care of yourself, you can have just as much, if not more, output out of your body physically as you did in your 20s. Like when people talk about their 20s, a lot of times they're not referring to a time where they were just like the best collegiate athlete. That's not what a lot of y'all are talking about because there aren't that many of y'all out there. The real thing they talk about is the fact that they could injure themselves, they could drink whatever they wanted to drink, they could eat whatever the fuck they want to eat, and they didn't feel it as much. You are feeling it now. That's the only difference between you now and you 10 years ago. It's just that your body is triggering your shit more because it's like, hey, if you keep this up, we ain't gonna be around much longer. The glory days is not the time when your receptors was turned off. That's not glory days. And if it is to you, don't you want more than that? Like, you're telling me the best days you'll ever have in your life was when you was stupid? Like when you didn't know anything about the world? That was your best time? I know people say ignorance is bliss, but there is real responsibility and depth in understanding how the world works. Like, I heard somebody say the other day that as adults, we shouldn't be trying to relive our childhood. The way it should work is that when we have children, we have family, we should be trying to create the environment for them to live it, for them to be able to have the good times that we say we have, obviously under different circumstances, under better circumstances, but we should be trying to allow them to live that. That's what it can mean for us. But too many of us, I think, are just trying to relive our shit. We look back because we want that. We look at our lives as this very short time frame when we had all the fun, and then if we're not having fun, we act as if life is over. We act like we got to get back to the good old days. Let me tell you something. The days of you not having to pay rent, that shit's over. The days where you don't have responsibility, you don't have kids, that shit's over. The days where people don't expect things of you, that shit's over. But there are really good things on the other side of expectations. There are really good things on the other side of you being able to step forth into responsibility and be someone that others can depend on because you can depend on yourself as well. When people see you take care of you, they know there's a better chance that you could take care of them too. But if you sloppy, how you gonna take care of anybody else? The good old days is right in front of you. It just requires you to do a little bit more to get to it. Because real life is not your teens and your 20s. Real life is everything else. Don't throw away the opportunity just because you're dreaming about a time where your body didn't have to do as much. You're more than that. You're more than your athletic abilities. You're more than the amount of shots you could take in college. You're more than the amount of women you slept with. You're more than all of that shit. That's all surface. What else do you got left? Get to the actual glory days so you can show your children's children, what it means to be a responsible adult. Talk to y'all later.